Hello, guys, and welcome. So, in this video, I'm going to be reacting to the Gamescom 2021 Xbox stream, and I'm joined on voice chat by Kempomo.
Hey, everyone.
So, let's do it. It's about to start in about 20 seconds from now. So, let's see what this is like.
Hi, ich bin Nicole, alias Niki und es gibt jede Menge Gründe, warum ich Gamescom lebe. Das fängt mit den Games an, geht über Merch, Loot, übers Cosplay,
Everyone's
zu meinen
talking about
Freunden.
how they like
Gamescom ist für mich das
Gamescom.
Event im Jahr, wo
Yeah,
ich die
yeah,
meisten meiner
I understand.
vor allem Halo-Cosplayer-Freunde wieder treffen kann.
Anything
Wir
that
sind
brings
mittlerweile
people
eine doch
together is
große
always a good
Familie
thing.
und ich freue mich jedes Mal darauf,
Yeah.
sie wiederzusehen.
Okay. Uh-oh, straight into the trailer. US Canada. Well, it's specifically it said US
Oh,
Canada.
I'm not old enough. I'm not old enough.
Oh, yeah, that's true. There's only airplanes in US and Canada. There isn't airplanes anywhere else. That makes sense. I think that's some origin.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Gamescom 2021 Xbox stream.
We've got so many great game updates to share with you today. We're talking Age of Empires 4, Psychonauts 2, and my personal favorite, Microsoft.
Yeah, I actually reported on Psychonauts Sword today.
Later on, we'll take an extended look
It's
at
actually
Horizon
reviewed
Five.
really well.
There's so much going into this,
Cool.
and Playground Games' vision of Mexico is muy bonito.
I have a friend that
And
loves
we'll be getting our
Flight
first look
Simulator.
at the cover
Yeah.
car for the game, Paris. I got $5 on it being one of those electric scooters that you see piled up on the sidewalk.
Will Kate win $5? I guess we're about to find out.
Yes, indeed. Our Xbox Plays team will also chat with devs and deep dive into current and upcoming games all week on twitch.tv/Xbox.
Let's get started with Techland and their upcoming zombie parkour sequel,
Oh.
Dying Light 2: Stay Human.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. I feel like this is the appropriate
Hello,
time.
I am Timon Smektawa, Dying Light 2 lead game designer, and this is David Lubryka, animation director. Hi. We can't wait until December 7th to finally give you Dying Light 2 Stay Human, the game we have been working on really hard for the last few years.
We're hoping the gameplay video you're about to watch will give you a foretaste of parkour and combat systems waiting for you in the game.
And we are just about to enter the city, fighting our way
ready for
through
this. We have
its
to get into the
brutal
right
and
mode.
dangerous streets.
Yeah,
Though,
that's true.
as you will see in a moment, there are plenty of things you can use to your advantage. So watch closely, look for special combat and parkour
there we
moves,
go.
and check out how with just a bit of creativity you can combine the two. Ready? Let's go.
I've never taken a bribe in my life.
Sometimes I
What are you
wonder
talking
what
about,
this city
chat?
looked like before all this. Probably like many others. People had their ambitions, plans, lives. Now it's all gone. The
I'd say
virus
thank you to
started,
Techland for sending me this hat.
But it was the people who made the world the way it is.
I don't know what they want in return. They didn't say.
They tell me they had a vision. They had hope. But soon,
I'm looking forward to this
one
game.
vision broke
Yeah,
into
yeah.
many different ones. Instead of fighting together, people stood against each other. War broke out.
Was it a little bird? Met a broken leg?
Hope died.
So all I need to do to be able to walk again is become a zombie. You see, the zombies are running all over the place.
Now the city is falling.
Each time we strike down an enemy, we absorb their strength.
Yeah, but for me, it
But
would
I
still
can't let
impair
that
me
happen.
because I still have a recovering knee.
I need the secrets the city holds.
Fuck! Hey! Still some rats here!
I have to pick a side.
The bazaar needs good people. You're doing great so far.
Like we did say, there's what, me, you, Balthea, and who's the fourth person that we're gonna play with?
Let's check
I
and
don't
see.
remember who the fourth one was. Was it
They
Kavita?
say that great change
Maybe, yeah.
is a series of small gestures.
I remember.
I don't remember.
But just these games are a hell of a lot more fun in co-op.
Yeah, especially when you see Mom laying down dying for 5 minutes.
Is all hope really gone? We'll see about that.
Well, that was an exciting trip, wasn't it, Timo? Did you notice those bandits in medieval-like armor passing by skyscrapers, banks, and large billboards? That's what we call a modern Dark Ages.
And it's a very unique design, one very important for the plot of Dying Light 2. But there's another thing that stood out to me, all those parkour moves that you and your team has put so much effort into.
Well, all you need is a few thousand of animations, cooperation with professional tracers, mock-up sessions, and invaluable help from David Bell, whose face and moves player will see in the game, by the way.
No,
Is that
that's
it? Is that
right.
all
And
they
we've
need?
got twice the number
Yeah, I
of
guess.
parkour moves
The face and
compared
moves.
to the
Anyone
first
could do
game,
it.
and we are showing some of them in this trailer.
Parkour?
The vault
No.
kicks being
Yeah.
the most important.
It's
to
not.
me
Thousands of animation,
personally.
yeah, whatever. I'll
It
do it.
brings
I'll
a
do it next
whole
week.
new fighting style into the game. The player can stagger an enemy and use them to perform further attacks, for example, by rebounding from their bodies, jumping of them onto other foes, and so on.
I think we captured the movement really well and made it quite simple for the players to perform. I can't wait for them to try it out and tell for themselves how much they loved it.
It's definitely going to be useful. The city's buildings are higher than anything we have done before, improving its verticality. Players will need to find a way to
I hate
reach
Kavia.
those
We
tall
just talking about you.
skyscrapers and
How you
other
doing?
challenging spots too.
Then it's good we scattered some helpers around, like a paraglider, which can support players in both parkouring and combat.
Exactly, and it's gonna do great, especially in fights against humans, which are more frequent and important than in Dying Light 1. It's been over 20 years since the events from the first game, so people adjusted. They are much bolder now, at least during the day.
And they are more vicious too.
And I think that's a great summary of this discussion. Pre-order Dying Light 2 and explore its vast, complex world on December 7th. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, guys, I don't know if you know, but Techland were actually the first company ever to give me a sponsorship.
Microsoft Flight
Ever.
Simulator launched on a
Of all
home
companies.
console with the release on Xbox Series X and S last month. Reviewers and gamers alike were blown away by how well the stunning
Oh, good, I hope.
visuals and the
Yeah,
depth
we were saying
of the
that. Are you gonna?
simulation
Is it
translated to the
me,
console,
you,
and that's why
Mum,
I'm
and
extremely
Balfia?
honored
Or
to
is it
welcome
the four of
head
us are going to
Microsoft
co-op
Flight
Dying Light
Simulator,
2?
York Newman to the stream. York,
Couldn't
thank you for
remember the
being
fourth
here.
one. I thought it was
last
you.
time
Are you-
we met
are you
was
the
at
fourth,
Xbox Game
basically?
Showcase, and it was getting ready to come out on consoles. How did that go?
It went great. As you said, the reaction to the Xbox console launch was really just amazing. Both from Xbox gamers and from the press, they've been so gracious with their feedback. I don't know if you know, but Flight Simulator is one of the highest rated games on Xbox this year, which I think is just great validation that the translation of the simulation to the console has really worked well. Our usage numbers are through the roof. We are absolutely shattering franchise records, and I can tell you there have never been more people playing Flight Simulator than right now. So it's an awesome time.
That is
Oh.
awesome. Congratulations on the launch,
Nice.
really. But
Oh gosh.
All right.
I want to go to the danger zone. So what's going on with Top
Oh,
Gun?
I
There's
knew.
so much going on, Paris. So you and I talked about Top Gun Maverick earlier.
I can do
The
that.
fans are super excited. They saw the
Oh,
F-18.
no.
They can't wait to start flying. And as you know, it comes out later this year as free
we get the
DLC
music?
alongside the movie. But as the movie is still under wraps, so are we. So I can still not tell you that much about it. But there's so much else
no,
going
we
on
might be
even before
DMCA'd if
Maverick.
we use
So
the music.
we are continuing to do our monthly big releases that we've been doing for a long time. And next month, on September 7th, we are launching World Update 6. And this world update, I mean, at the beginning of the show, if you remember, there was a little red plane flying into Cologne. Well, we did that because World Update 6 updates that region, the region of Gamescom. So Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. And what that means to us is we have new aerial and satellite images. We have a new elevation map that helps us with the mountains. So the Alps actually look awesome now. We have new 3D cities like Frankfurt and Wuppertal in Germany. We have Basel in Switzerland. We have Vienna and Graz in Austria, and those cities look just amazing. They have like 7 centimeters resolution, and it's awesome. But we want to celebrate the entire region, so we picked 100 of the most scenic places, the most famous landmarks, and we call those POIs, and we sort of spread them throughout the simulation. And
looks pretty good.
And we also added airports. We did Lübeck and Stuttgart in Germany, and Klagenfurt in Austria, and St. Gallen in Switzerland. And what it ties it all together is missions. We're having new discovery flights, we have new landing challenges, and we have new sort of tours of the country. So they fly you around all the awesome looking places and really celebrate the beauty of this region of Earth. And this is a celebration of DACH, of Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. I'm so happy to be able to announce the date here at Gamescom.
You know, that is really incredible, all the different regions and everything that you're going to have in the game, and the way that you're going to be able to actually highlight those.
Yeah, I think it's
you
it's
can't
it's really
find them?
cool, but you know, for us, it's actually not just the region and the visuals. We are.
Yeah, that's true,
We talked
Jen,
a lot
that's
when you study
That's
aviation and you love aviation like we do. You actually realize that a lot of regions of Earth have a very special relationship with flying, with aviation. Sometimes it's, you know, the first experiments with aircraft, or a famous pilot, or a feat of aviation, or like a local manufacturer. So we thought to ourselves, why do we not use these world updates to celebrate the planes? So we are announcing a new series. We call them Local Legends. And think about that as planes that are locally well known, like in that region, but outside in the world, not so much. But why not use the world updates to highlight this, to bring these awesome machines to a worldwide
I
audience?
see your shades.
So for
I
World Update
raise
6,
you a
we
wig.
picked, a German plane from the
Oh,
1930s. It's called Junkers U-52. In Germany, it's lovingly
Oh, these
named,
are prescription
Tante Jung,
like
so
shades
NU.
and
we think
God, I
of
guess
us
my
as
prescription's
sort of a
changed.
digital preservation. So we really want to get these planes to an extreme level of detail. We're going out of our way to really go deep.
I know,
So
chat.
we're
I
doing
look
a full
amazing.
scan. We take full scans of the outside and the inside, as detailed as 1 millimeter.
I was going to
which
pick
is
up the
as good as you
hairbrush
can- as
to
you
like
can
brush the
do
wig,
this.
but then
And
I
we're
realized I
working
don't
with
have hair,
the
so I don't
Junkers.
have
We
a
work
brush.
with Bernd Junkers.
Let me look at my
Who is the
comments.
grandson of the original
Oh
creator
my
of the plane,
God, yeah,
Hugo
that hair is
Junkers, and
just,
he's helping
it's
us. He
no
had a ton
good.
of insight and materials. Then we worked
Yeah,
with an
you were right, Jen.
organization
He was
that is
waiting for the right
preserving one of the
moment.
last
Yeah, I
surviving
knew he was up
examples
to
of the
something because
Junkers.
I was
So
like,
they
you
let
can't
us
find him,
scan
and he's
and
like,
take
wait a minute.
photographs. And then we were lucky that to find a pilot that actually flew one of those planes while it was still flying in the real world. And he lets us know, like, is the cockpit right and the sounds right? Does it feel right in the air? So we're having a blast working with these experts to really bring these, to celebrate this plane and bring
Yeah,
them back
I
to
know.
life.
It's back.
So,
Yeah.
so this is almost like you're creating like a digital
Needs to take care
museum
of
for
that wig.
aviation inside Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically that. It's a museum with flyable planes. So we're working with 40 museums
Is that
around
better?
the world. And it's honestly one of the funnest parts of the job. You
Hold
you
on, I
end
gotta
up working
wait till
with
you're
these
in the
curators
screen.
of planes. These are their babies. And they sort of see the tooth
Oh
of
my
time in the real world sort of nagging on their
I'm really good at
remaining
brushing.
planes. And they're so happy when we come in
Oh
with our
my
scanning
Lord.
equipment. And we're basically capturing their planes. And they know that we can digitally preserve them in perpetuity. And we're actually giving those scans back
goodness.
to the museum so they can do something with it. And it's a great collaboration.
I can't read anything, chat.
And
My
we're actually
prescription
not just
changed.
looking back in the history of aviation, also looking towards the future. So I have
How
another
long have you had
announcement. We
those?
are
You must have had
working
them
with
for
a
like
fascinating
10 plus
German
years.
company called
10 years.
Volocopter.
Yeah.
And they're
Oh,
making
there you go. That's why it's
an
changed.
eVTOL air taxi for urban traffic.
Like, yeah, I have some cool
So
sunglasses,
they
but
have
I'm
a vision
blind.
of the future,
Yes.
how these
Basically.
drone-type machines basically connect people in large cities. We're working directly with the engineering team to make sure that we are capturing their plane and their aircraft perfectly in the flight simulator, and that's coming out in November.
I mean, you weren't kidding when you're saying that there's a
My
lot
only
going
issue
on
with these
inside
sort of
Microsoft
games
Flight
is that
Simulator.
they
Is
could
there
be
anything
used
else
by
you wanna
bad
share?
people to
Yeah,
plan
there's one
logistics
more
for
thing.
it, like
Yeah,
attacks.
I'm so happy to announce that we've partnered
True.
with RARA. That's
That's my
Reno
only
Air
concern
Racing
with them.
Association, and every
If
year
they're
they put on
overly
something called
accurate.
the Steel National Championship Air Race. and we're bringing this to
let me
Flight
fix my
Simulator.
wig.
So this is the fastest motorsport. This is right down your alley. It's the fastest motorsport on Earth, and I actually brought you a little trailer to look at.
So race, speed. We go into the danger zone, baby. Let's go ahead and show
Yeah,
it.
yes we are. We are there. You think like 20 years from now there'll be 4K on mobile phones? Or will it be sooner than that? Come on. Wait, day one? Yeah. I've got a Game Pass.
You know I like going fast, and you know I love being in the danger zone. When is this coming out?
Man, these planes, they fly 500 miles, faster than 500 miles an hour, 50 to 250 feet above the ground. So you are definitely going to be in the danger zone. I mean, without going into too much detail, this Reno Air Race is actually the largest expansion we have since we launched on Flight Simulator. It's not just because we scanned all the famous race planes of the world, there's lots of them. This is also the first time when you can basically race against your friends and pilots across the planet. And so a competitive multiplayer is coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that will definitely test your pilot skills. And you ask, when is it coming out? This is coming out this fall, so it's right around the corner.
Oh, that is fantastic. And you know I have the need for speed, so I can't wait to get my hands on this and participate in some of these air races.
You think they're hinting Tom Cruise will show up later?
Thank you. If going fast on the ground is more your speed, keep an eye out for an extended look at Forza Horizon 5 later on in the stream. We'll also talk with Wasteland 3's game director about the game's next big DLC. But first, if you're an Xbox Game Pass subscriber, we have some great news for you.
Oh, nice.
Here I come.
Yeah. It would be nice if I could see. It's like I don't know how people like cope with hair. I can breathe again.
Build a weapon that'll turn us into new borns again. Build a weapon, one that flows the world.
Like everything I do makes it worse.
Build a rocket that'll come and take away us all. Gonna come back, I am
This is how much I care about what's going on the strat.
in a day.
But hey, at least I'm not covering boiled eggs with mustard and Nutella.
Borns again.
I like this version of Mithrie. Yeah. I feel surprisingly comfortable. I feel this reflects my personality.
Yep, somehow they did it. They added even more games to Game Pass. But let's talk about what's coming up. We're talking Age of Empires 4, the game's creative director, and we're going to see what's next for Sea of Thieves. But now, we've got a new roguelike retro shooter that, in grand retro fashion, sends you plundering through shifting dungeons to defeat a mysterious eldritch terror. Let's dive into the pit.
Oh. I wonder how many people are watching. Take a look. 40,000. Okay. I guess there'll be a lot more tomorrow, right? During opening night live.
I'm back. Sorry.
Back.
Oh.
I had to change out my set shades because I wanted to see again.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, I jerked up out of my chair too quick, and it hurt. So, interesting game.
Yeah.
It was like is this Bioshock or something? Looks like Bioshock.
Yeah, well, with the hand stuff, yeah. Bungie had 150k for Destiny. Ah, fair enough. Yeah, what did they actually announce for Destiny? I did see the pop-ups, but I just didn't watch it. Is it a new expansion?
Well, I am here with creative director of World's Edge, Adam Eisgreen. And Adam, I'm so excited to talk H4, of course, because you've brought something a little different and very special today.
Yeah, I have. So, so far we've been showing everyone kind of what Age looks like from in the game, when you're playing it. You've gotten to see a lot of footage of that. And we've also shown a little bit of our campaigns, right, through when we unveiled the 100 Years' War and showed Joan of Arc. But we have yet another way in Age of Empires 4 that we're kind of bringing history to life that we haven't talked about yet.
See, you do this to me. You put me in suspense. I want to know more, so let's go with it. Let's hear more.
Okay, wait, you get one moment of suspense. Okay, that's enough. So what we brought today is we have these wonderful little videos that we've created that are interspersed amongst the campaign, and they're about 3 to 5 minutes.
I sent a picture of myself to my family.
We have over an hour of them total, and they're called Hands-on Histories. And what they are
my
is
mom
a great
thinks
way
I
to,
look very cute.
deep dive on certain fun subjects from the cultures we're representing and just from medieval history.
Excellent. Well, I hear you've actually.
I was muted.
segments that
Sorry,
you're
my
gonna share
dog
here
was
for the
barking,
very
so
first time.
I had to have someone take him out.
Yeah,
he is very beautiful.
Yeah, this is going to be the fourth, Jim.
Popular units
There's
from
been 3 of
Age
them
of
so
Empires
far.
franchise and a fan favorite, the Trebuchet.
Excellent. Well, this I
Big
got.
Bungie coming in Feb. The future of Destiny 2, and they announced the final chapter. Oh, fair enough.
Counterweight Trebuchet was the king of all siege engines. A catapult.
Did your sister reply after the pitch?
Yeah, no, she said that my mom thinks I'm very cute. That's what my sister said.
Oh.
At Warwick Castle in England, they've built a replica.
England, where's that?
One of the largest in the world. Originating in 7th century China, by the 13th century, trebuchets had evolved into devastatingly powerful weapons.
Such a simple design, but so effective.
It has
It's
several
so simple. There's nothing simple about it.
a pivoted arm with a weight at one end, and a sling to hold the projectile.
It
at
is
the
not
other.
simple to make one of those.
To prime,
No,
the
that's-
6-ton weight is raised.
Very
using
precise.
tread wheels.
That's very impressive.
So this is one of the wheels.
Yes.
One of 2 that's
So anyone can
attached
make one.
to an axle.
No.
Which would lift the counterweight.
So yeah, when the
Whereas
pandemic
this
started,
like
that's how people did
it's
food
based on
delivery.
muscle power alone. What's essential about launching a projectile as far as possible is making sure that this end of the arm is moving as fast as possible. So once that weight drops, it really sends this point of the arm.
Oh, it's such an easy
moving
design
at
to
its
make.
highest velocity.
Anyone could do it.
This was done by positioning
It's an
the pivot
engineering
close
marvel.
to the counterweight,
Especially with
and
just
by launching the
made out
projectile
of
from
wood
the sling.
and counterweights and
When released,
rope and
the sling whips round, vastly increasing the launch speed. Trebuchets were
fair
carefully
enough.
aimed, like modern guns.
In order to weaken the castle walls or even breach them, you had to make sure that the projectiles hit the same spot every single time.
My hair is more beautiful than hers.
For each projectile to follow the
Yes.
same trajectory, they all had to be
When
the
combed.
same weight and shape. To achieve this, masons used a gauge.
Now I'm going to load this projectile into the sling. This one must weigh about 25 kilograms, but some projectiles can get up to 150
It's funny, she's like, I'm gonna load it. So she has to roll it.
Trebuchets were also used to throw burning tar, beehives, even dead
beehives, yeah.
bodies. Anything to cause maximum distress to the enemy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It was designed.
Hear that whoosh?
It was the counterweight trebuchet's lethal combination of power and accuracy that made it the ultimate medieval siege weapon.
So the point is, there's going to be trebuchets in Age of Empires.
Trebuchets. Yeah. What about
You know
tar?
I'm gonna say Trouche, yay!
Yeah, they said they used
Don't
tar.
care, 'cause that is
Yeah, they said
awesome and
flaming tar.
remarkably unique, something you don't see in games very often.
Yeah, so, you know, one of the things when we were looking at what we were going to do with Age of Empires 4.
By the way, chat, I probably
there's
am
a
going
phrase
to
I'm really
play
fond of,
Age of
which is,
Empires 4 when
history
it
is only
comes
as
out.
interesting as the people
I'll
who
probably
taught it
stream
to
it.
you.
Oh, nice.
And you could say that about any subject, really, right? But I think the great thing is when you have someone that's so enthusiastic and passionate about history, it really comes across. And we wanted to be that kind of teacher for history. And there's a phrase called humanized history that I use to kind of describe what we tried to do, which is we tried to like connect past and present. And you can see that kind of in our briefings as well, where we've got like real stuff with like CG kind of overlaid to show you the history. And so for these,
you have to focus on what's important, man. Okay?
So ourselves and Relic partnered with this amazing
I didn't
group
say
in
nothing
the
about
UK
you. You were talking about the
called
witch. I didn't say
and
nothing.
they've done production on an amazing amount of shows and documentaries for the BBC and won every award you can imagine for media. And they travel to all of these locations in all these different countries to meet with these subject matter experts and get all of this great footage on how things really worked and how things were made. And it's been
you ever take me
delightful
seriously
to kind of go
when I
through
look
that
like this?
process and, you know, get all these and finally start showing them to everyone.
I love it. Now, you also, of course, you've got a bunch, as you mentioned, of these hands-on history segments. Anything else that you can tell us fans about what we can expect, looking forward to? Any favorites you got coming up?
Oh, well, favorites. Oh, man. Well, I think my personal favorite is one called Medieval Surgery. Okay. And I'm going to let your imagination go with what we might show and what we might talk about in that one. Yeah. But the thing I love about them is that they go all over the place. So, you know, we've got ones on
Medieval Surgery.
Building and like how
what would
they
that
kept
be like?
flaming arrows from not going out when she shot them. And
yeah, Medieval Surgery, like what? A saw, an axe.
Yeah.
Some alcohol, I don't know. They didn't really have much.
Did the stream go dead?
Oh, the stream went dead.
Oh, did it? Rip.
Yep.
That's what everyone's saying now. Just F.
Yeah, a lot of people died. Yeah, because they didn't have the tools. Plus, they didn't have sanitation, how to sanitize tools either. They just reuse them. So people had high infection rates.
So while this is happening, we have an excuse.
Yep.
To get the real content.
Oh God, here we go. Yep.
F, yeah.
Yeah.
Pokey, what are you saying?
Real content F. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Refresh. Oh, still dead.
Yeah, it's F. It was nice. We got like, this is how we do arrows.
Yeah. It's like, kids, it's time to cut your toenails. Say when it's back in case I don't notice. Because for me, it's still blank.
A lot of people are saying on YouTube it's working.
YouTube is working. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a journey, you know, to get all this done.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I think it's back now.
Yeah, new next gen graphics.
Yeah. And of course, we will be there day one, Xbox Game Pass for PC as well. So anyone that's on that can just grab the game and start playing.
Okay, we're good.
But
yes, I believe you are a part of something very special.
Yes, so Gamescom opening night live.
Yes.
11
Oh yeah, the
Pacific
trebuchets were
time.
very powerful. They're very powerful weapons.
So if you're a fan, you probably
I always say that was like the predecessor of actual
from Mr.
canon.
Maybe. And I like it very much. Adam, thank you so much for joining us here.
Always a pleasure, Kate.
Always a pleasure. Age of Empires 4 looks fantastic, so I cannot wait. October 28th, neither should you. Now, we have tons coming up here today, including a new update for State of Decay 2 and an extended look at Forza Horizon 5 with our friends at Playground Games. But now, let's catch up with Paris, who's gone from flying the skies in Microsoft Flight Sim to a different kind of cloud.
That's right, Kate. Xbox
Woman has got
Cloud
very
Gaming
impressive
is
muscle
already
tone.
available on Windows PCs.
You could
mobile
definitely
phones,
beat
and
me in an arm
tablets.
wrestle.
And now it's coming to Xbox
anyone could
consoles.
beat you.
With cloud gaming sounds bright.
My arms
Waiting
are
to
so
install,
like
No running out of hard drive space, no waiting to patch.
Don't you see the muscle?
Buying a new console.
Oh wait, could you
Well,
like
I'll put
see
it-
straight through
See how the
that?
vision of cloud gaming
No,
will
I'll put
bring
it this
people
way: I
together
never
without
underestimate
barriers.
someone because
So when
you
I
can
think
be
about
very
cloud
powerful
and when
but
I think
hardly have
about
any
gaming,
muscle.
those two things
So I never
together to me
underestimate.
really show you the future, where you can pick up something and you could play it anywhere and you could do it quickly.
Yeah, I actually tried xCloud. It's actually really good.
Yeah, I have xCloud. I have xCloud on mine. I tried it too. It's pretty interesting.
Cloud gaming is phenomenal. That's pretty great.
It's not
that's
bad.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
This
I mean, it's
actually
better
looks
if you
so
just
good.
have a more powerful machine locally, but if you don't,
Games are
it's a really
large
good way
and
to
you want
play.
to keep the ones that you know you
Yeah.
love on your hard drive. Xbox Cloud Gaming is about being able to discover the new ones right away. It's super exciting that for our Game Pass Ultimate members, they will get to experience Xbox Cloud Gaming on whatever console they have.
Cloud gaming is really about looking at
Yeah, I
how
heard about
people
that.
play differently.
Like
I
you
know
might
me
literally
in
be able to use your
particular, sometimes I
PlayStation
just
to
have
play
20
Xbox
minutes.
games with xCloud.
Oh,
It
you,
should be as easy
I
as
didn't hear about
finding the game
You
that
might-
you look for
might
on your
be.
console and just
Yeah.
jumping right in.
We're
Probably
targeting 1080p at 60 frames
Most
per second.
likely no.
What's crazy about this is like the latency.
They wanna keep them
This is the
separate.
kind of stuff you need with cloud gaming.
Oh, 60
I
frames.
just
That's actually
the whole
very
thing of
smooth.
playing on mobile phone, I find that
The
kind of
process
strange.
itself to get into cloud gaming feels
Like,
like
you put
you're
your
playing on
mobile phone,
console, right?
and then you have a
go, you
controller.
find the game you want, you press play.
So easy nowadays. You can pick up any device and
And
pretty much
mobile
play
data is
any
not exactly
Xbox
cheap.
game on Game Pass.
No.
If my friends have titles that I don't have yet, I can just wait for them to send me an invite. It makes content just so much more accessible.
I really love the flexibility. It's awesome.
Everything that Xbox is doing right now is just getting rid of the limits of
What if
having to
PlayStation
be
will
on a
have to? 'Cause
specific
the
platform
PlayStation does
or
have
specific
a
console,
web
like
browser,
on
right?
PC and mobile, and now on
Yes.
Gen
They would have
8.
to specifically
Yeah,
block
Gen
the
8
Xbox
consoles can
website.
play Gen 9 content.
yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
that so cool?
With cloud gaming, we have the ability, because you are connecting to consoles that are in our data centers, to allow the Gen 8 customers, the Xbox One customers, to play games that their hardware wouldn't have been able to play without it.
There's so much opportunity when it comes to thinking about how we can make content more readily available and let people play where they want to. Sign me up. I'm ready for cloud gaming right now. Let's do it. When's the release date? When does it release?
I tried Yakuza Like a Dragon on xCloud. It worked perfectly fine. If it's your only option to play, you can enjoy the whole game on it.
August 9th saw the release of the free optimized update for Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice on the Xbox Series S and X. With beautiful and rich visuals, thanks to the addition of ray tracing and improved materials alongside performance updates, this is the perfect opportunity
I just
to
won't think about
relive
it.
Senua's journey or experience
don't
it for
think
the
about
first
it.
time. And if you haven't played this, do yourself a favor.
know I was
grab
messed
a pair
up
of
just watching
headphones
you play
and
through the whole
immerse
thing.
yourself into this world.
Great.
It
Speaking
really
of
messed
unique
with me.
experiences on Game Pass, the Xbox Plays team will be taking a look at some ID at Xbox titles over the next few days, including 12 Minutes and The Big Con.
They're also talking with developers from Halo, the Master Chief Collection, Forza Horizon 5, and Destiny 2. So join the live Q&A to get your burning questions answered. You can catch all of those streams on twitch.tv/Xbox.
Speaking of Forza Horizon 5, don't forget our friends at Playground Games will give us an extended look at their monument to motoring in Mexico later on.
That includes never-before-seen areas of the game map, plus cars that have never been in the Forza franchise before. I've loved everything I've seen of Forza Horizon 5 so far, and I can't wait. Now, Kate, there's more games to check out, right?
Well, right you are, Paris. Let's talk Wasteland 3. Their newest DLC introduces us to a new cult.
Never played
The
Wasteland.
Cult of the Holy Detonation.
I never
About
did
time.
either.
It's one of those games that sort of like, it looked interesting, I just never had time to play it.
Holy
I've never played it.
is life.
I watched Kang play a little bit.
Within Cheyenne Mountain, we've changed. Devolved into the mutations you see before you. Set on a righteous path. The holy detonation's life-giving glow should be shared with everyone. May the light of the holy detonation purify you. Join us, Rangers.
I think that's going to be the
With new
reoccurring
patches,
theme, isn't it?
bug fixes,
Play it day one
and
on Xbox Game
features
Pass.
like fine wine,
on PC
Wasteland
and
3
Game Pass.
just gets better with age. To really savor the game's bouquet, we're talking with inXile game director David Rogers. David, thank you for joining us.
I'm super stoked to be here. Thanks.
So in the trailer, we saw
Super
that
stoked.
the DLC is coming out on October 5th, but we know, inXile Wasteland 3, you guys have been working on this for a very long time. So can you kind of talk about that journey?
Yeah, our dev team has been working nonstop full tilt, trying to make Wasteland 3 the best version of itself it could be. Over the past year since it's released, we've added features, we've balanced, we've listened to the community, we've fixed bugs, added stability, and I really think that the version that we have now is the absolute best version of the game, and if you've never played it before, now's an awesome time to jump in.
Well, congratulations on everything that you've been doing with Wasteland 3. Now, this DLC is called The Cult of the Holy Detonation. Now, talk about that a little bit. Tell me what's going to go into this DLC. What should we be excited about?
Right, so you've heard of Cheyenne Mountain, right?
Yes.
For those who haven't, Cheyenne Mountain is this top secret military complex buried deep in the heart of Cheyenne Mountain in the middle of Colorado. It's designed to outlast a nuclear winter. And so when you hit level 16, an old friend calls you and says, hey, I need your help
I watched
securing
Coldplay,
this
that's not
secret
counting.
military base and all the secrets within. And
I
as
was
soon
thinking
as you
of State
get
of
there,
Decay.
you find two warring cults battling over supremacy, trying to take control of the holy
I watched
detonation,
Play State of
which
Decay,
is this
and I
pre-war
watched
science experiment that they
Carnage
worship as a
play
god.
Wasteland.
And these cultists are insane, they're mutated, they've gone totally mad, and all they want to do is share the holy radiation with you and your entire ranger team. How generous.
Yeah, that sounds a lot cooler than some of the cults I may have joined in the past. But this is typical Wasteland fashion. We're really going to be able to get in there and mix it up, right?
Right. So you and your ranger team
you all
insert
part of the
yourself
Mithrie cult?
right smack dab in the middle of their
You all have your purple
which,
wigs.
what could go wrong?
Yeah.
And this is a Wasteland game, so you decide
No.
everything.
No,
Choice and
fair.
consequence is our
Didn't
bread
get
and
it in the
butter.
mail, did you?
And so you decide who lives, who dies, who gets screwed
No, I
over,
didn't.
who takes
Darn it.
charge. You're deciding the fate of the cults, the holy detonation, Cheyenne Mountain, and ultimately all of Colorado. This is really your game to craft and mold.
That's
I do
awesome.
have a white
so the
wig,
last
I
expansion
just don't
was
have
the
a coat.
Battle of Steeltown, right? You had giant robots and things like that. So, what are you going to do to actually top something like that from the last expansion?
Right. So we wanted returning players to find something that they could never find in another version.
How
of,
did he
the previous
know?
versions
Yeah.
of Wasteland 3. And so we built this as a Wasteland-style dungeon crawl. And in there, you find this awesome mix of mystery, exploration. You're meeting these crazy cultists who have been
Or you
locked
go,
in
"That
this
did happen."
pre-war time capsule, and some of the raddest boss battles we have ever been able to build in a Wasteland
He
game.
said rad.
That's awesome. I want to get back to the crazy cultists, but talk to me about these
I
big
haven't
boss
heard
battles.
that
I want to hear more
word in
about
a
that.
long time.
So we took the
I've heard
best
it in 20
parts
years.
of Wasteland combat and we
Yeah.
breathed new
Back in
life
the
into it
80s.
with objective-based
Yeah.
combat, which are basically
Rad,
super rad
dude.
boss battles.
Yeah, it's a bit like the
it's no
90s
longer
is the
you're
last
like
time I
huddling in
heard
a
rad.
corner throwing down turrets, just going on
No,
murderous
mine was in the
rampages.
80s.
It's not about killing,
That's
it's about
totally
getting the
rad,
job
dude.
done. And so now combat doesn't end until the mission is over. We send you on proper combat missions.
The thing is,
You're
these
in
sort of
there
X-
breaking
wig
into
hair is
prisons,
good.
rescuing POWs.
These
You're disrupting these
XCOM-style
high-tech
games
cultist
are
rituals.
my-
You are splitting your fire team and coordinating like you never have had
I feel this
before.
too slow. I
Like,
prefer
everyone on your team has a
ARPGs,
job,
where
and I really
you're
think this is
actively
gonna be
controlling
old
the character
players
and
who
shooting
know their
everything.
Ranger team
rather
like the back
than
of their hands, and
turn-based.
it's going to make them scratch their head
Yeah,
and really have to rethink how
this
they go
isn't
about
my type of
combat
game.
and making it new, exciting,
probably why I
and
never really
challenging
played 'em.
in a mentally in a way we haven't been able to really do before with just straight up murder combat.
I'd rather just go
Now,
and shoot.
Wasteland has a reputation for getting a little silly.
You've
Right.
seen it in action.
What are some of the weird characters we can expect
well,
in
shoot,
some
I
of the
don't
story
think.
encounters we'll
Yeah.
see? in this?
Yeah, with Cult of the Holy
Yeah, I'm a
Detonation,
ready,
we really
fire,
got
aim.
to cut our devs
Yeah.
loose and just let them be
Yeah.
creative and fun and silly. Like inXile's modus operandi is if we're like brainstorming and something makes us laugh, we just put it in the game. That's just how we do it, and we pick up the pieces afterwards. Because we want to make something that entertains us, and then we know if we're having fun, our fans are going to have fun along with us. And so we got to explore, like really letting you get deep into this like weird radiation cult, and let you interact with them and talk with them, and tell stories and like maybe even join them.
Yeah.
And so like for instance, one of the characters you meet, one of the first cultists you meet, is this slathering beast. He's got like claws and fangs and spikes jutting out, and he's drooling, but he's like the nicest guy in Cheyenne Mountain. Like you meet him and he's like, hey guys, you should like come in here and like soak up some of these rads. It'll be great. And he Sherpas you in.
You think he does the
and
voice
lets you
acting
meet
as
the
well?
whole cult.
He does
and,
the
like,
voice
another one of my
acting.
favorites is the Proteus. He's what you get if you took like 20 cultists and you like melted them into a big pile, kind of like I would do this with like a magnifying glass. I would like melt like army guys and like GI Joes into a big pile, and he's wet and sloppy and gross, and he's hard to understand, and he needs a translator supposedly, but he's like your #1 fan. And getting to build like this totally out there wild extreme character was a ton of fun to write for. It's a ton of fun to like explore like what makes this cult tick, and he's an absolute blast. Hell, even some of the weapons that you find in Cheyenne Mountain, they're devolved cultists. Like there's one guy and he kind of devolved into this like vomiting bagpipe creature, and he has this real like kill me vibe about him.
I'm sure they do.
But we get to play with these fun body horror themes that let us jackknife
really
between
enjoy what
sort of
they
like
make.
dark and serious and like goofy and funny, which is a line that Wasteland
Figure probably
really
it's an
loves
idea
to ride.
that was
Like,
on paper and
a
then
lot of
became
really
into
important
reality.
stuff is at stake, but you know,
So it's
the
a big
Wasteland's a
thing.
pretty bizarre place.
Oh, I can imagine. Now, we talked before, you've been working on Wasteland 3 for a while. There's already expansions that are out there. But say I'm a new player. Say I'm watching this right now and I'm like, man, I want to get into Wasteland 3. What would you suggest for new players wanting to get into this?
And like I said at the top, like Wasteland is like the best version of itself right now because of all the work we put into it over the past year. And so you can get the whole thing with the Colorado collection. That's the base game plus Cult of the Holy Detonation and Battle of Steeltown, all for a discount. Or if you have Game Pass, you already have Wasteland 3. Just download it and play it, and then you can get both expansions with the expansion pass.
That is awesome. Now, to kind of recap this a little bit, we talked about, you know, spewing pus bags and these weird characters and the cults and the boss battles and all these really cool things that are going to be in Wasteland 3. But please remind everyone before we get out of here, when can you pick up this DLC?
Right, this Work of Passion, it comes out on October 5th. We're really stoked.
That is awesome. So this is the Cult.
That's rad, man.
Cult of the Holy Detonation.
Yeah, that's like
coming October.
totally rad, dude.
David, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Barish. Appreciate it.
All right. In the 3 years since its launch,
bro, you
Sea of
just don't
Thieves
know.
has played host to some incredible crossovers, including unique ship sets inspired by games like Battletoads, State of Decay, Halo, and more.
His eyes are bloodshot. Did he
we're
sleep
excited
last
to
night?
announce a brand
Probably
new
not.
special event that will
Was he
award players
rehearsing all
on
night?
ship as a part
It's
of the
so
latest
funny
wild
that when I
crossover
start looking at
heading to
certain
Sea
things,
of
you make a
Thieves.
comment.
Better yet,
And I was
this
looking at his
event
eyes. I was
begins
like, man, his eyes are not the right
so
color.
get ready
And then you made
to
the
make
comment.
some mayhem, and let's get our first
Oh,
look.
gnarly.
At this
Oh
very
my
special
god, that's
ship.
another word I haven't heard since the 80s. That's gnarly, dude.
Tubular.
Tubular. Tubular right here. Gnarly was one. Oh man, that was so gnarly.
I love when Summit played this game. When he made the, what's it called? The Wiener Raiders or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
I would just draw dicks on like everyone's map.
Really cool to be a part of this all-digital Gamescom event. And we were thinking, what's the best way to kind of celebrate Gamescom and to be a part of this as Sea of Thieves? And so we're really excited to reveal that we're bringing the Mayhem ship set that you've just seen, a really, really cool ship that's inspired by Borderlands, into Sea of Thieves.
It's like when Summit started playing the game,
and
and lots of people started streaming it just because
so
Summit was
it's been really
playing
cool to work with the Borderlands team to bring this ship to life. And
They-
giving
they've
all of
just
our
made
players
the
the
game
chance
seem
to earn
really,
it as
really
part
fun.
of this live event that we've cunningly titled Mayhem. You might notice the link, so you can probably guess
My
the kind
kiddo
of
still
activities
plays
that are involved.
Sea of
But
Thieves
if you head to Lorena
with a
or
bunch
any
of
of
her
the
friends.
outposts in the Sea of
She
Thieves
still
world,
plays it.
she'll be able to fill you in on the
She
details
comes in
of
and
what
tells
you
me
need to
all
go
these
do to earn
adventures
the
they
ship
had.
set. So we hope everybody gets a chance to take part in this awesome time-limited event. So it starts today, and it runs through to September the 7th. So that's the time period you've got to get your hands on the Mayhem ship set. And I think that's it from me. So as always, I will see you on the seas.
Arr. Part of the ship, part of the crew.
Yeah, part of the ship, part of the crew, part of the ship, part of the crew.
I'm trying to
Pirate's life for
organize
me.
like my nose hair and the wig. Trying to make sure they stay separate.
Whoa, that took on a whole
It's always been a dangerous world in Trumbull Valley. But now, it's hope that brings us back together. It reunites
Yeah.
old friends.
Yeah.
It builds new bonds. And in the face of a growing threat, hope.
Within the next few months.
Just like zombies themselves, it seems everything old is new again in State of Decay 2. And we have a guest to walk us through this Undead update. Please join me in welcoming Undead Labs Director of Communications, Wanda Russell. Hello, Wanda. How are you?
Hello, I'm great. It's great to be
Still looking
here.
at it?
Talk
Okay.
about the Homecoming update releasing on September 1st. We are very excited to get this into players' hands.
You are indeed. So let's talk about the Homecoming update. Obviously, we are coming back to Trumbull Valley. We were there for Heartland, the update, back in 2019. Talk to me about the differences, and I'll sit right here and listen because you're adorable.
So Heartland is
Oh
the
my
story mode
God.
within the game. It's a very linear, narrative-driven experience. Players couldn't move their communities there. So that's all changed with the Trumbull Valley map. It is the 5th core open world
So it's
map.
not only
It's
men that
fully
do that.
remastered, and it expands into territories that were completely inaccessible in Heartland.
Yeah, you just look.
So
You don't
players
say
can return
anything.
to their communities, start new communities there, and really start exploring everything that the new map has to offer.
So then, would Homecoming be a sequel then to Heartland?
Yeah, exactly.
It depends.
Right.
It depends on
The events
people
in
who
Heartland
do the
kind of play
claims.
out. You see what happens.
Depends
in
how
Trumbull
severely
Valley.
overplayed
so
they
we
do.
think of it as the third part of our Trumbull saga that began with the original State of Decay game, continued into
I think they said
Heartland,
that they're trying
and
to
now we
make sure
see
that, like,
what
for
has
Opening Night
happened
Live, they
since
said
then and what
they're trying to make
storylines
sure it's
might be coming
DMCA
to
free.
a close. So there is a lot for players to discover, a lot of environmental storytelling to find, and things have changed. So this isn't the Trumbull Valley that players might remember. So that's going to be exciting.
Interesting. Well, and anytime you expand something like Trumbull Valley, you just have to have a juggernaut of content, pun intended. Talk to me a little bit about what some of those things are that players can get in on here now in the expanded Trumbull Valley.
Yes, a ton of new content. In fact, we're doing something unique with the Trumbull Valley map. There are items there that you can only find on that map and nowhere else in the game, including 12 new hats and outfits, 10 new very cool
It's one of those things for me. It's like I would love to play this
2 new
game,
achievements for achievement hunters.
but
And
I
on
don't
top
think
of
I've
that,
got the
we are
time.
adding the game's 12 bounty
just too
packs. So that will
And
be
I am a
from the
full-time
bounty
content
across
creator,
all
and there's no
maps. And I
time.
have to say,
There's
they
simply
are some
too
of
many
the
amazing
coolest
games.
weapons I have
They
ever
have to
seen
be
go into the
selective.
game. I'm so excited for people to find them.
A juggernaut amount of content, and I don't care who sees that second pun of the day. That works out great. But let's talk about the State of Decay community, because it's absolutely an integral part to this entire franchise. And State of Decay being on Xbox Game Pass, how has that impacted the community? How has that impacted the game? Talk to me about those.
It's been fantastic, and we have an amazing community. We love them so much. In fact, one of the reasons we're doing Trumbull Valley as a map is because it was one of the most requested features from the community, which also makes it very exciting for us to be able to say, we did it, you get it. And we have a major milestone that we're celebrating. State of Decay 2 has 10 million lifetime players.
10 million lifetime hang your hat on that. I absolutely love that. That is
Really grateful.
Incredible, amazing news. Congratulations to you and the entire team at
Thank
Undead
you.
Labs, man. Fantastic
What do
work.
they consider
well,
lifetime?
speaking of Xbox Game Pass, let's give you the deets
Yeah.
one more time when it comes to the update.
So the update releases September 1st. It's a free update for all State of Decay 2 owners, and it's included with Xbox Game Pass.
And there's some games I
Happy
leave
homecoming.
space for.
I love it. Thank
But
you,
like
Wanda,
I've less
very much.
space
My
for
pleasure.
Tales of Arise. I've less
Now we
space
move
for
from
7
Trumbull
Remake
Valley
Part
to the
2.
Lost Valley of
I've less space for
the
Final
mystical
Fantasy 16.
location trades zombies for ancient
Yes.
warrior clans, forgotten temples
Dying
of
Light
long-dead
2.
god kings, and
Dying
a
Light
healthy
2.
dose of hack and slash.
Yeah.
All this awaits in
Jurassic
Stray
World
Blade.
Evolution 2. Less space for that.
Yeah.
5 or 5 games.
Yeah.
Just to just so you know, chat, on Friday I actually have a promotion with 5 or 5 games. Most likely it will be over on Twitch. Just so you know.
In Stray Blade, you discover the mystical lost valley of Akria, a world which ranges from
can you do me a
overgrown
favor?
temple ruins
Can you look up
to
how long
frozen
this
caves
stream
and
is supposed to be?
canyons. A game world that changes based on your victories and plenty of dudes to stab in blade-to-blade combat. If that weren't enough, You even get a fuzzy little pal to help you out. Between the epic fights and this small guy, there's clearly a lot going on here. So let's hear more from Point Blank Games about Stray Blade.
It says
Hello,
2 hours.
everybody. I'm Leonard
2 hours,
Koch, game
okay.
director at Point Blank
Yeah,
Games.
it says it'll
and
show
today
30
I will
games
show
in a
you
2-hour
Stray Blade.
show.
Right.
Stray Blade is an action RPG where you play a rogue adventurer who is exploring.
I wonder
the
how
ancient
much is going to
valley
be
of
repeated
Akria
tomorrow
with his
then, during
companion,
opening
a
night
witty
live.
wolf named Boji. Unveil the history of the Forgotten
a
Valley,
good
utter
chunk
the
of it.
powers of the 3 Akrian metals to restore
Hey, watch
balance
out. Let
to
me
this
take the hat
war-torn
off
land.
because I'm
That.
sorry, my head.
Sweating.
That is the hat.
Sweating.
As well as the word.
Combat and exploration are the 2 key elements of our
There you
game.
go, fell off.
Let's dive into the combat first. Our combat system merges strategic anticipation of enemy attacks with split-second blade-to-blade reactions. It is the high noon of skill-based melee weapon combat. To achieve that, we put our hearts into creating fluid, well-readable animations and epic cinematic finishers. You can choose from multiple weapon categories that can be combined to fit your playstyle. Now, let's take a look at the exploration. Akria's colorful world ranges from overgrown city ruins to frozen caves and winding canyons. Together with your companion, explore the
Right,
deepest
the
corners
shine
of
has
an
come back.
ever-changing world, bristling with adventure.
Uh-oh.
Every discovery holds
Let me
treasure,
get my
and rare
sunglasses
materials,
on.
recipes, weapons, lore
It's
pieces,
too much
and
for me.
beautiful places. Change is part of your journey, where every victory impacts the world around you. When you die, time keeps moving forward. Enemy skills stay dead, new foes invade camps that you weakened, and when Boji revives you, only one thing is certain. The change you brought shapes what now awaits you. And of course, get ready for epic boss fights.
I'm just closing some pop-ups.
We hope you enjoyed the first look at Stray Blade, which
Yeah.
will be out next year.
My
And
eyes.
keep an eye on
My
our
eyes.
social media
Yeah.
channels for more information.
And Mithrie reverts to his base form.
Next up, one of the most unique games
A
finally
lot
comes
of
to
medieval
Xbox.
games.
Yeah, unique. As in, my evil twin murdered 4 of my husbands because they secretly are in love with me. Unique.
In case that didn't tip you off, we're talking about Crusader Kings 3, the medieval grand strategy and role-playing game that has you trying to defend your royal line from those that would conquer your kingdom, and evil twins apparently.
Yeah. It's coming to Xbox as an adaptation, not a direct port, meaning that the UI and controls have been refined to bring that grand strategy experience to a controller.
Not to mention bringing the grand strategy experience to my comfy living room couch.
We'll all be ruling from our
I would say
throne
at
room soon
least
enough.
these
Check out
presenters
Crusader
are not as
Kings 3,
cringe
now
as
coming to Xbox.
Yeah.
other presenters we've seen.
My son, we must never forget the crimes committed against us. Your father sought his glorious revenge and failed. He never understood that the greatest wars are won with weddings, not warriors. With daggers, not swords. Only the small-minded measure success across the span of a single life. The real game is played across generations.
Oh, this is like Civilization, just with
Real
giants.
strategy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got giants walking around the world. Battling. I just said there's a lot of, like, medieval games for some reason.
Yeah. Basically just say that if they need the bathroom, the ocean is over there.
Steps, she'll be
Crusader Kings 3 is wild. You really haven't lived until you've made an 8-year-old the King of England.
Well, it's nice to have hobbies. We've all gotten into some weird stuff this past year.
Weird like diving into people's brains and exploring their mental universes projected into a psychedelic 60s wonderland kind of weird?
Exactly that kind of weird, which means I am so excited for
60s.
Psychonauts
You
to finally
guys
get a
haven't even
sequel. It's
lived in
been
the 60s
so long.
There really is something special about Psychonauts, isn't it?
There really is indeed. Now, think about this. 2005, when Psychonauts originally came out, was a different time for gaming. Most of the biggest games that year, we're talking Resident Evil 4, Battlefield 2, Call of Duty 2. They were great games, for sure. But they were all big, beefy shooter games.
Meanwhile, Psychonauts had humor, whimsy, and surprisingly heartfelt moments. It was an oasis of color and humanity in an era when games were increasingly turning grimy, dark, and combative.
Not to mention having some deceptively deep character moments.
That's why the original is considered a cult classic.
It has been a long time coming, and it is finally here.
I never
Enjoy
did
this
either.
long-awaited
I heard about
launch
it, but I never
trailer for
played.
Psychonauts.
They got some friends that had it.
Well, this.
She got cut off, didn't she?
Yep. Shut up. Yeah.
Now, have PlayStation said they're going to do a state of play or anything, or we don't know yet?
My name is Raz.
Was it James Bond?
I'm the new intern. And today is my first day on the job.
Get ready, Rasputin.
Funny enough, I did actually post 2 of these characters on my Instagram today. The characters from Psychonauts.
I'm not supposed to check out equipment to interns.
You did what? Can't we just...
No. Quit picking on the new kid. We were all new once, in case you forgot.
I've got eyes on the target. And I've got eyes on me.
All I see is another unruly peasant.
Well, that was Ursula the Sea Witch then.
Oh, God.
It sounded like her.
It wouldn't be the first time the Psychonauts underestimated Maligula's power.
Fire! Leave it to me.
So tomorrow then.
Jeez. Late on day 1.
Yeah.
Well, it's clear I could not be more excited for Psychonauts 2 because I gotta be
Yeah,
honest,
it's really
that
clear.
game
You're
without
ready to
some
break
beat
dance
that
any
needs
moment.
Settling. If you know, you know. The meat circus level, it is infamous, it is brutal, it is difficult to say the least. It's the final.
I am so
game
excited
that
for
came
this
out,
game. I
and
cannot
can't
wait.
believe I'm doing
Can you
math
not
on
tell
this
that
one.
I am really excited?
16 years ago.
Yeah.
Tim,
try to
Schaefer, and Lizette
pretend that I
featuring
am.
Montgomery. I am definitely dating myself, but you all welcome from Double Fine Productions. Thank you so much for being here. Tim, can you believe it has been 16 years? I almost
Give
said
me
19
money.
years.
Yeah, it feels like only yesterday, but it kind of was for Raz because the story picks up right where the first game left off. And even though it has been a lot of years, it's a game that matters a lot to us. We really love it here at Double Fine, and we know that a lot of fans, it meant a lot to them. And so we really want to be true to the spirit of the first game, which
He does seem like the creative type, doesn't he?
The same voice actors.
Yeah.
And we also have
Because his hair is a complete mess.
that worked on the first game, as well as being
That's how you can tell.
Thank you. It was really important for
I don't
us
have time to
to
comb
carry
my
the
hair.
legacy forward,
Yeah.
especially the cool style of
It's
Wonk
wake
that
and
is
wear.
very prevalent in the first game.
Style of Wonk. Just put it on a shirt. I'm in there for it. Let's roll it back a bit. Of course, this can be a kind of a trippy idea if you're not Psychonauts, they still jump into people's minds, I'm assuming, like the first game, right? So if a Psychonaut sort of dove into my brain, it would be like a lot of Ted Lasso quotes and French Bulldog memes. Am I correct, Tim?
Yeah, that's what's fun about a Psychonauts game is that all the levels are different, just like every person is different based on their personality. If you could jump into someone's mind, what would it look like in there? What would be the color of the sky, and like who would the monsters be? And in Psychonauts, you get to do that because Raz has the power of astral projection. And when he goes in, he gets to fight those monsters and help people deal with their nightmares and wrestle with their inner demons. And so there's a ton of variety,
That is the
and
power
there's
I
a lot
would
of
not
anything
want.
goes. We can go to any location, we can have any art style, and coming up with new levels for the second game was really fun to do.
Well, I loved it from the first game, certainly. Lizette, let's talk a little bit about how that kind of concept expresses itself in the game world. I mean, Psychonauts 2 has got it all over the place, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was really important for us to carry forward the unique brain worlds and unique levels from the first game and the unique style as well. So we were really focused on how we could bring forward that style in Wonk and also bring in new levels and enemies.
Now, of course, it wouldn't be Psychonauts without new mental demons. And I'm sure it's happening in Psychonauts 2. What does this mean? Does it mean basically is that we're finally able to slap COVID anxiety in the face?
Well, I don't know if you get to slap anxiety in your face, but you definitely get to slap some panic attacks, and COVID definitely caused a lot of those. In addition to panic attacks, some of our old enemies have also come back. Our sensors are our favorites, and they're definitely here. And in addition to that, we also have our doubts. And some new enemies. There's our lovely sensor. Also, some regrets, some flying regrets. There are a ranged enemy, and they definitely are challenging. Our doubts are our slow, sticky melee enemy. You're also seeing our enabler here. He energizes our whole combat troop. So we have a whole
the
cast
thumbnail
that
of the
you can
stream.
battle and fight with.
Including the new
To
Bat
include
Mood.
Including
Psychonauts.
the Bat Mood.
Which is
It's an electric storm of feelings that you have to fight.
Now, for those who haven't played the original, available now on Xbox Game Pass, by the way.
It was funny.
Tim, why is Raz so good at rummaging through brains?
Raz is, he has some very special skills. He has two whole sets of skills, one being the acrobatic skills he learned growing up in the circus. He can balance on tightropes, jump on trampolines, swing on trapezes, and that helps him navigate and get around to all kinds of interesting places. But he also has this other side to his personality, which is that he's a powerful psychic. So he can levitate objects, he can use telekinesis and pyrokinesis. He has these powers which people might recognize from the first game, as well as 3 new powers for the second game. He has the ability to mentally connect thoughts together, and he can connect 2 thoughts and actually connect 2 thoughts together to solve puzzles and to navigate.
I didn't know what he
in this
meant by
game.
that.
He has the power of time bubble, which is just change and slow down how things are moving by changing people's perception
Sorry,
of time.
I was thinking of pain.
And he also has the power of projection, which allows him to pull an archetype of personality out of his unconscious mind
trying to deal
and bring
with
it
some pain.
into the world that he's in, like a companion in battle or in puzzle solving.
But let's talk about the story for a second, because as the original Psychonauts, we saw Raz training to be part of an organization, and now perhaps he's part of a whole organization at this point. And are there other brain agents, other Psychonauts out there that maybe grew up in a completely different circus?
Yeah, we have a lot of new characters in this game.
We do. We have a lot of new characters in this game. As soon as Raz arrives on the headquarters, he immediately gets introduced to the interns. And the interns quickly tell him and show him how he fits into the organization.
The bottom.
They're right down at
Right
the bottom.
Yeah, so earn his way back to the top again. He's no longer the coolest kid in summer camp. And much to his chagrin, his entire family, his entire embarrassing circus clothes wearing family comes to visit him in front of all his new friends. And so the interns find out that he's the oppositional child of the circus family. Each one of them has their own quirks and foibles, and some of them are even psychic. And so a lot of their story gets told in this game, including their backstory and how it relates to the foundation of the Psychonauts themselves.
Well, I like that. And of course, as you might know already, I'm sold. But you, of course, already knew that. When can myself and the rest of the world exact some beefy, meaty revenge?
You can get back to the beef and play Psychonauts 2 on August 25th on Xbox Game Pass and PC.
There it is. Lizette, Tim,
Day one.
Double Fine, thank you
Yeah.
so much. And you know what? Extend a huge congratulations to everyone at Double Fine on the launch of Psychonauts 2.
Thank you so much. We're very excited.
Thank you.
And you can
I hope
catch
we're
more
very
of Tim
excited.
Schafer
This
and
is
ask
like,
him
yeah,
the burning
whatever.
questions about the newest game in the fan favorite franchise in our Xbox Play stream tomorrow. But first, we're going from cleaning out mental cobwebs to cleaning up alien planets in this supremely satisfying 4K 60 trailer for The Gunk.
The Gunk?
The Gunk.
I don't like this weather. I'm pretty sure the ship's insurance won't cover alien storm damage. You have to be careful out there.
The gunk's eating everything here. This planet is literally a paradise when the gunk's gone.
Yeah, it looks pretty.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit puzzle driven.
Okay.
Which is the kind of games I like. Huh. Yeah, that's the new thing. Play it day one.
Day one. Yeah.
Cleanup duty.
We have talked about so many incredible games today, and it's hard to pick a favorite. But let me just say, it is so cool that State of Decay 2 is expanding Trumbull Valley. Come on. And hey, you know what? Great job on that Flight Sim interview.
Oh, thank you. I mean, talking to Jorg is always a blast, and Flight Sim is such a special game to me because, I mean, it's literally letting me travel the world. But I was staring daggers of jealousy watching you talk to Tim and Lizette over at Double Fine.
Well, I will say this, I understand, but you got to play Psychonauts 2 already, so I don't even want to hear it.
That's true, but it's not the same as talking to the creators. Just trust me when I tell you.
This is the way co-workers talk to each other.
I will say this as well.
I know,
am
right?
excited to see even more
I hate that
content
language.
on Xbox Plays streams.
Yes, don't forget, Xbox Plays will recap all the week's news throughout the week at Twitch.
I don't know about you, but if my coworker was talking to me like that, I would have walked out the door like 2 minutes ago.
Before Kate and I let Playground Games take the wheel, let me just say that it has been our distinct pleasure to chat games and nerd out with everyone today.
Oh, it's hands down the best part of the job, for sure.
But we're far from done here.
Camera's over here, lady.
Now, in June, Playground Games announced that Forza Horizon 5, the highly anticipated follow-up to 2018's breakout hit open-world driving game Forza Horizon 4 arrives on November 9th on Xbox consoles, Xbox Game Pass for console, PC, and cloud, and of course, Steam.
And if you're watching our Xbox YouTube channel, switch over to our Xbox Twitch channel.
Mithrie in a driving game.
And that is twitch.tv/Xbox for the full vroom vroom experience. And if you're already watching on Twitch or one of the Forza channels, stay right where you are.
Without further ado, let's dive in, starting with the new custom Forza Horizon 5 controller, which is available for pre-order today, so players can have it in hand by November 9th when the standard edition of the game launches.
Alright.
Terrible colors. That is terrible colors.
I mean, that's how they made
Like
the controller.
Yeah. That is terrible colors.
That's a horrible combination. Okay. Well, you don't need to watch the Forza Horizon stuff, so yeah. So overall, I thought it was a good bunch of announcements. I think the point they made basically was just if you have Xbox Game Pass, it's like the cheat code for being able to get everything. So and I do actually have Xbox Game Pass. I have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So yeah,
I have the cloud gaming.
And then if you're interested, then keep watching so you can watch the Forza Horizon stuff. But that's not really my thing. So for everyone's sake. So anyway, guys, I think I'll end the video there. Let me do the outro. So anyway, guys, that's it for this video. If you liked it, be sure to give that a thumbs up. You can watch around the video over there. You can watch the latest upload down there. Or you can click down here to subscribe. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
All right.